Hey there, Darby, over at Calm Math here, and I'm going to be going through some of the practice tests available on the FLDOE website. I am a certified teacher in Florida, so I frequently review Florida standardized tests just so students and teachers and parents can feel more comfortable as they practice. Math doesn't have to be anxiety producing. So today I'm going over the grade 3 paper-based FSA math practice test, and this is the first part of it. This is available for free on the website. I will make sure the link is in the description if you'd like to take the paper-based or computer-based test for yourself. So scrolling down, has instructions, of course. And the first session has no calculators. So this is what we're going to do in this video. What is the value of the unknown number in the equation 6 times 3 equals blank, unknown number? So 6 times 3, if you don't have your multiplication tables memorized, which a lot of students don't have, like they don't have the pattern recognition down yet, and that's okay. There are tools that can be used for multiplication, and 6 times 3, you could do one, like count like dots or shapes or whatever. So 3 rows of 6, and then count them all up. Or you could do 6 plus 6 plus 6. So I'm going to give 3 strategies for answering this if you don't have it memorized. So if you were to count these all up, it would be 18. You could say 6 plus 6 plus 6 is also 18. 6 plus 6 is 12. Plus 6 is 18. And then there's another method where you could draw for 6 lines, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then draw 3 lines through it, similar to like the dot method. And then everywhere there's an intersection, just count those up. And if you counted all of those up, then it would be 18. So a few different ways you can approach this if you don't have your times tables memorized. Okay, so what fraction is represented by point A on the number line shown? We have 0, 1, and 2, and these are split into like here's 1, 2, 3. So they're split into 3 sections. So basically, like this would be 1/3, this would be 2/3, this would be 3/3, and 3/3 is the same thing as 1. The next one would be 4/3 or 1 1/3, but it didn't ask for a mixed number, it asked for a fraction, so you would put in 4/3. And I'm going to put in 4/3 right here, 4/3. So the important thing with a problem like this is to know what like your intervals are in between each whole number. Match each number to the value of the number rounded to the nearest 10. So the rule with rounding is if it's greater than or equal to 5, you round up. If it's less than 5, you round down. Okay, so let's look at 181. The 1 is less than 5, so that's going to round down to 180. Here we have 186. The 6 is greater than 5, so we're going to round that up to 190. And 194, 4 is less than 5, so we're going to round that down to 190. And you're rounding it to the next, it says to the nearest 10. So in each of these, the tens place is the second number here. So the 1 stays at 80, the 6 rounds it up to 90, the 4 stays at 90. Here we have an area map. I have a whole series of area maps in the Math is Fun section of this YouTube channel and on my website if you're interested. So this is a drawing of a desk and they want to know what the area is. So we can split this up into two rectangles. And if I drew a line right here, this top rectangle is going to be 2 by 5. And 2 times 5 is 10. And then this bottom rectangle, we know that this part is 2 feet. So 5 minus 2 is 3. So this part is 3 feet. So we have 2 times 3, and that is equal to 6. So 10 plus 6 is 16. So that would have been answer B. Okay, select all the situations that can be represented by 35 divided by 5. Keyword here, all, meaning there's more than one answer. 35 divided by 5. Okay, so let's look at A. Heidi has 35 apples after picking the same number of apples each day for 5 days. So that is definitely 35 divided by 5. How many apples did she pick each day? Heidi has 35 apples and places an equal number of apples into 5 baskets. So here she's dividing 35 by 5 to see how many apples go into each basket. Answer choice C. Heidi has 5 apples and needs more apples to deliver to a customer. So that would be like 5 plus an unknown number of apples. So I'm just going to say 5 plus X, or I could do 5 plus A for apple. So that one does not work. Heidi has 35 apples and her friend gives her 5 more. So she has 35 and she's given 5 more. She has 5 more, so that's plus 5. So that one wouldn't work. Heidi has 35 apples and gives 5 of them to a friend. So she starts with 35 and she gives 5 away. So that's subtracting. So the first 2 are the answers that would work for division. Okay, the graph shows the height of each tower that 5 students built for a social studies project. And how many centimeters taller is the tower that Ross built than the tower that Carlos built? So looking at Ross is the bottom one here. And his tower is at 90 right here. And then Carlos is this top one. And if I were to draw a line down, his tower is at 60. So what is the difference? 90 minus 60 is 30. So that would be answer choice B. Okay, perimeter of a rectangle is 74 yards. The length of the field is 27 yards. So I like to draw like a rectangle. It has 4 sides. It's a quadrilateral, meaning it has 4 sides, and it's also a parallelogram, but each side has a right angle. We don't need to know that for this. But the length is 27. We do not know what the width is, so I'm just gonna say that's width. And it says the perimeter is 74. So perimeter is like if you were to start, in one corner and walk all the way around the field on the outside edge. That is the perimeter. And perimeter equals 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. So we know the length is 27. So I'm going to plug that in for length. And then we have plus 2 times the width. And we know the perimeter is 74. So I'm going to plug 74 in for the perimeter for P. So 2 times 27 is 54. So 74 equals 54 plus 2 times the width. So the next step is to get the variable by itself. The variable is the width over here. I'm going to subtract 54 from both sides. I'm running out of room. Okay, so 74 minus 54 is just 20. 20 equals 2W. Okay, and then we're going to divide both sides by 2. So 10 equals W. So the width is equal to 10. And if we were to add up 10 plus 10 plus 27 plus 27, we would get 74. So what is the width in yards? So 10 yards, you would put in 1, 0, 10. Okay, what number multiplied by 7 equals 42? So I'm going to say 7n, what number is n, equals 42. Another way you could write this is 42 divided by 7 is what number? How many times does 7 go into 42? So knowing your times tables would be helpful here. If you don't know your times tables, a trick that you could use is just counting by 7s. So 7 plus 7 is 14. 7 times 2 is 14. plus another 7 is 21. 14 plus 7 is 21. Plus another 7 is 28. So 7 times 4 is 28. Plus another 7 is 35. Plus another 7 is 42. So how many 7s is that? How many times? Let's look. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. So 6 times 7 is 42. So there's strategies that people can use if they don't have their times tables memorized. Like say if they have dyscalculia and they struggle with patterns and rote memorization, like they can be taught to solve these problems without using a calculator. Okay, part B, the number 42 divided by what number equals 7? So this is basically the same thing as this last question. 42 divided by 7 is 6. All right, two figures shown are measured in centimeters. We have, it looks like a square with sides of 6 centimeters and a rectangle with 9 is the length and 7 is the width, either or. So the shapes are both what? Are they both squares? No, because the second shape is not a square. It doesn't have equal sides. Are they both rectangles? Possibly. Are they both rhombuses? What do you think? And if you don't know, let's look at the second part of this. Because, oh, let me clear my, okay, we know that for sure that it's not a square because all the angles and each shape are right angles. That is true. All the sides have the same length. That would be if they were both squares, and they are not both squares, so it's not that one. All the sides of each shape are made of straight lines. That isn't a criteria for a square or a rectangle or a rhombus, so I'm crossing that one out. So we know that A is a little crazy coloring in my answer choice there. All the angles are right angles. So does that make it a rectangle or a rhombus? So a rectangle has parallel lines and right angles. A rhombus is a parallelogram with equal sides, but they don't have to have right angles. So the answer would be rectangles. So if you want to know what a rhombus looks like, it could look something like this, where the sides are all the same length. And this angle and that angle are the same. So opposite angles are the same. Okay. So a square is a rectangle, but a rectangle is not a square. Okay. So there's two containers of water. And what is the difference? So difference means subtract. Let's look at how much is in this first container. It goes right here, the line. And this interval, it looks like is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the line is at 3. It's at 23. This one, it looks like the line is exactly at 10. So if we were to subtract 23 minus 10 to find the difference, that would give us 13. Select all the fractions that are equivalent, the same as, equal to a whole number. Okay, so either it has to be like this one is equal to 1 because 3 divided by 3 is 1. This one, 5 over 10 is 1/2, so that is not a whole number. This one is a whole number. 2 goes into 8. If you were to reduce or simplify this, that would be equal to 4. 8 divided by 2 is 4. Here, 15 divided by 7 is not a whole number. And 1 over 6 is just a fraction. It's not a whole number. So you're looking for where the top and bottom number are the same, and that will just equal to 1, or where the top number is divided by the bottom number and it goes in evenly to give you a whole number, like 8 divided by 2 is equal to 4. Okay, at the beach in Key Largo, Diana saw 10 dolphins each day for 7 days. What could be used to find the total number of dolphins she saw? So if she was there for 7 days and she saw 10 dolphins each day, the key word here is each. Are we going to add, subtract, multiply, or divide? So if you didn't really know, you could, say day 1, day 2, day 3, all the way up to 7, and then put 10 dolphins for each day. I'm not going to do that because that would take up a lot of time, but you get the idea. So, or I could do, she saw 10 dolphins on this day, 10 dolphins on this day. So as you can see, that's a lot of dolphins. And a quicker way of doing this would be multiplying. So each is a keyword for multiply. In total, she would have seen 70 dolphins. That's a lot of dolphins. Okay, so that was the end of session 1. If you found this helpful, like, subscribe, and share, and look forward to part 2.